Dang! Has it already been 4 years since I last uploaded my first childhood trauma video? I know its views are underwhelming, but I enjoy talking about stuff that terrified me as a child. But there is more. Today's countdown will be the top 8 childhood traumas, part 2. If you had a childhood fear you'd like to share, comment down below. I'm interested and curious what scared you all as a child. Let's begin, and I hope you enjoy the video. I always find it hilarious that the most unusual things that scared me isn't supposed to be scary. Like this DC bedroom logo for some unknown reason gave me the chills. Maybe it made me feel uneasy because something about it felt off. You have this dark bedroom with a boy sleeping, and the camera goes swiftly outside with a Dic logo and a bunch of stars everywhere. Also, that jingle gives me goosebumps for some odd reason. But it is this particular variation of the logo, which is used in Sabrina, the animated series, that spooked me out. The speed of the other variations are a little bit slower.
Savage, we love you. Dic!
Overall, this logo sometimes made it hard for me to sleep at night. Comment below if you ever felt freaked out by this logo. For some reason, Nintendo stuff always spooked me out as a kid. Nintendo Gamecube was such an underrated console and brought so much nostalgic memories in my early childhood. Super Mario Sunshine, Wind Waker, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Star Fox Assault, etc. But the thing that made me feel uneasy was the Nintendo Gamecube menu screen. That transparent purple cube and a pitch black background with ambient music freaked me out. Something about all this makes me feel very lonely for no apparent reason. I feel like I am trapped in some sort of limbo-like state. Don't turn this menu on in a dark room past your bedtime. Worst mistake of my life. I thought that Super Mario 64 was the only video game that spooked me, but nope. Super Smash Bros. For the N64 did. First off, the main menu has this rather unnerving music with an ominous dark background. Nothing about this seems friendly to me. The music is what I imagine it sounds like to be in any location alone, especially at night, and afraid to look behind you. Doesn't stop there. Just listen to the announcer in this game. He is very robotic sounding, yet sounds overzealous at the same time.
Free for all! Oh no, free for!
I was always terrified of ticking him off, because if I didn't complete the bonus stage, he would say, in the most unsettling way, Also, especially if you lose all your stocks, this screen appears.
Continue.
That chilling jingle plays when it happens. Then, if you say no.
Game over.
Don't forget about Master Hand. His first appearance in this game franchise is rather menacing. You hear this gladiator-esque jingle when Master Hand slowly descends towards you and starts laughing ominously. Then after you defeat him, the entire universe just shatters and falls apart for some reason. Then that music plays. You know what I'm talking about. That music doesn't sound like victory music. It sounds like you're at a 7-Eleven gas station and basically every horror icon in existence is there to murder you, not knowing what is to come. I know this game isn't horrifying, but it felt uncanny and unnerving to me in my childhood years. I wanted to go more into it, but I plan to save more of it for a future video. Anyways, moving on. Creed is a punk rock band from the 90s and hasn't been active since 2012, which was 10 years ago. You may ask me, Gabriel, why is an obscure 90s rock band an entry on this list? Well, their music is pretty dope, nothing scary about them, but their cover for Human Clay is sort of disturbing to me. It shouldn't be unsettling, but the album art to the book pamphlet is sort of eerie to look at for no particular reason, but it just seems off. The artist who made this is very talented. I guess maybe it's a surreal look to it, especially if you look at it in the dark. I guess the simple and best way to put it is that it looks otherworldly, which would also be the subject of early morning hallucinations. Doesn't scare me anymore, but it just makes me feel a slightly bit uncomfortable. Everything about the Yellow Submarine is chaotic. Its plot, its characters, setting, etc. I feel like everything in this movie wants to harm you in the worst possible way. The blue meanies and all the monsters look like your sleep paralysis demons that you witness your entire life.
Today, Pepperland goes blue.
The visuals are really trippy in this movie. One time, I hid under my sister's room under a laundry basket while my family was watching the Yellow Submarine, It was a freaky movie for me. I think overall the trippiness of the film is what gave me childhood trauma. I mean, look at this. Surprised that this movie is rated G. At least make it PG due to its frightening imagery. Another thing that I have to point out is the fact that the blue minis have Mickey Mouse ears. This movie was ahead of its time and spot on, showing how Disney is an evil corporation. The Beatles were slick. Whether you are a Catholic, Christian, Jew, Muslim, agnostic, or atheist, everyone can agree that The Prince of Egypt is a masterpiece, especially when it comes to 2D animated movies. It actually rivals Disney 2D films and Studio Ghibli films. I wish DreamWorks had made more 2D movies, but a scene in particular that always made me run out of the room was the dream sequence Moses has during the film. Its surrealism really spooked me, and its artwork. Just look at this scene, you can't disagree with me. Even though I got over my fear many years ago, this scene still gives me chills, because Moses finding out that most of his life is a lie can be rather unsettling. If I have any millennials and Gen Z subscribers, I bet at least most of you either had a PS1, PS2, or both. They bring back so many memories because I had both. But both also always gave me chills in a very eerie way. It's hard to explain, but I feel like I was being watched. First off, the boot screen for the PS1 always stepped me into that uncanny valley for me. Especially when you have to wait a few seconds for the boot screen to show the PS1 logo, meaning it is fully loaded. The booted screen seemed scary, probably because it felt so unearthly with its jingle and sort of off with the PS1 logo having a black background. The PS2 is even worse. It looks like you are floating in some sort of black hole. The loaded screen is blue, and a bunch of gray blocks everywhere just made it feel ominous. Just like the PS1, you have to wait for it to load for a few seconds for the PS logo appear on screen. I don't know what they were thinking. This really freaked me out. I wasn't the only one traumatized by this. Imagine seeing this in a dark room past midnight. It is really a bad time, with this hellish looking vortex and a sort of space-like sound effect that kind of gives you the willies. It was very hostile towards anyone due to its ambient terror. The PS3, PS4, and PS5 was actually laid back, but kind of missed the era where video game consoles were eerie. Okay, I would be surprised if none of my subscribers were terrified of the Terminator. Seeing a metal human-like robot with piercing red eyes and ghoulish-looking teeth is enough to make a toddler run to their bed. I barely remember the Terminator movies, but just the sight of the robots was terrifying to give me all sorts of nightmares. It got to the point that I had a sleep paralysis hallucination of the Terminator and the Silver Surfer fused together, running down the hallway to my room. I was in full panic mode. Tears went down my face and I couldn't move. Sure, it was just a hallucination, but that was so nightmarish that I barely slept that night. Now, it just looks corny to me. Once again, I was a chicken as a small child in my pre-teen years. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I plan to make more childhood trauma videos until I forget everything I was scared of when I was young. Hopefully, my third installment won't take another 4 years to release. With that being said, happy belated Halloween. And cue the outro.
Every night my head hits the pillow. I'm trying to go to sleep, but I'm thinking of my yellow. Imaginary scenes are replacing all my dreams. Every time I say your name, it's an echo. Hello, start the engine, you're the key to my car. You're the light of my life when I needed a spark. I can see you from a mile away.